ashes burn in the still of the night, it's our turn.
Pasquale says Boba Green also in the finals of Rochester PQ, and it's Austin, the guy who won RSGs, that's Red Seal Gaming in New Jersey last Saturday. He's going for back-to-back wins. Yeah, you know, I was casting that event last week, and it's interesting. You know, we'll see if he can pick up another win. It'd be pretty impressive if he did. I believe FFG has said that the day one buy and stuff gets passed down if if someone who has already won wins it. So if Austin ends up taking it, then the second place player will I believe receive the at least the day one worlds or day one galactic championships buy and invite and stuff. But I could be wrong. And Dante says, yes, was confirmed the buy passes down. Okay, looks like we're here. Jason has the initiative here, I believe. So, okay, we're seeing a one-cost starting unit. It's going to be Salacious Crumb. What Loopee really doesn't want to see here is McClunky. Oh, that is spicy. He fires off ECL immediately.
All right.
Loopee uses Energy Conversion Lab immediately to have Battlefield Marine kill Salacious Crumb.
I'm kind of happy with that if I'm Jason. Especially because I have a second one in hand.
Another Salacious Crumb. That is wild.
All right. I mean,
why would you even keep two Salacious Crumb in your starting hand?
I don't know. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, that is very odd. Okay, we'll
he
see
can't
how it
McClunky
goes.
here, at least, which is, you know, the point of ECL play. Even if the Crumb does get replaced, he can't get McClunkied right away. But
yeah. So if you're Loopee, do you swing the Marine into Salacious Crumb here?
Quite possibly, yeah.
Thrawn says, think I saw a timely in Loopy's hand when he drew, but not positive. If he does have a timely plus a 2-cost unit, I think that you know, if he has a timely from hand plus like Sabine or plus another Marine, I would maybe take that to kill Salacious Crumb and then have the other one hit the base. Oh, the Battlefield Marine shoots Salacious Crumb down once again. Maybe he had smuggle cards in his hand, and he's like, okay, I gotta resource these smuggle cards. But I don't know. It does strike me as odd. Okay, so then Loopee Jason throws down a 7th Fleet Defender, and Loopee plays a Wing Leader, buffing up his Battlefield Marine. His veteran Marine here, a 5/3, who has now taken down Salacious Crumb twice.
That monkey just won't stop coming back.
Swoo Talk with Yakko and Dom says, and he essentially threw the second one away too, the Salacious Crumb. Well, in a sense he did, and in a sense he didn't, because yes, it got played and just got killed without doing anything, but it did also save him 3 damage on his base, and that potentially means a lot. So I don't think it was entirely wasted.
Matthew Miller saying, just look at how much Crumb did last game. You know, when the spokesman for the State Department says that this card is good, it probably is. Yeah, I mean, Crumb I mean, Crumb basically won the last game for Jason, so he is pretty strong. It makes sense that you'd want to get rid of him. He's mainly just a target for McClunky at this point, which would be really good value for Jason.
A Cloud Rider clears out the buffed. A Cloud Rider clears out the buffed Battlefield Marine. Loopee plays a Bright Hope, protecting his wing leader from the defender, but then he swings the wing leader into the defender. I guess he's trying to counter. So I guess he's trying to counter this. I guess he's trying to counter this bounty by setting up a conditions such that the defender dies to Bright Hope instead of living to swing into it and kill it next turn. Make it harder for Bright Hope to get removed here. I'm really not sure. This is definitely not what I expected to see from this game. Things are already quite unusual here.
I just realized I forgot to start the timer, so I just took 10 minutes off of it. Now we're going.
All right, so our round timer here might be inaccurate, but hey guys, this is a Sabine game. I'm not sure we're going to be going to time. In fact, I'm pretty sure we won't.
I mean, we went to time
last
game.
It's not unheard of. Yeah, but last game wasn't Sabine. You know, Sabine really changes things.
It looks like I was actually right on with the 10 minutes. It was actually exactly 10 minutes ago it was supposed to start. So
Sweet.
The timer is more or less accurate.
Cool. All right. Well, Sabine then deployed and swung into the base. Now it's the next turn. Boba's deploying. Loopee considers his options here. I'm getting some lag on this video. Are you seeing this?
Yeah. Okay. I think it should be better now.
Rebel Assault here. I think it's going to be both Sabine and Bright Hope swinging in. Sabine swinging into Boba? Is that right?
Is that... There's no way that's right. I guess it... Okay.
Yeah, man. And he incorrectly puts 2 damage on Boba. It should be 3 thanks to... It should be 3 damage thanks to that Rebel Assault.
Yeah.
It looks like a judge or something points that out from the side of the board, and they do fix it.
Maybe he's setting up a record play?
Loopee is playing this game extremely differently from what I expected. I don't know what he's playing into, but he's a very experienced player. Let's see how this goes for him. What is that? Is that a commission for commissions? So Jason smuggles out a commission.
Yeah.
I guess he's just trying to dig for Boba's armor here. Boba's armor is an item, right?
I believe so.
Man, these are not the lines of play that I think of as being standard for this matchup. It's very interesting here. Yeah, he finds it. Boba Fett's armor. There it is.
All right.
So Jason's commission does achieve Boba's armor, and he can now potentially play that and attack into Sabine without taking any damage. I wonder if Loopee attacked Boba to try to soften him up for a wrecker, but the Boba's armor would prevent that from having anywhere near the same impact.
Yeah,
is there anything he can do to...
Could be wrecker.
Yeah, can he do anything to kill Boba before the armor goes on? Nobody plays K2. That's not terrible.
Yeah. And the ECL's been used already, so
yeah,
doesn't bode well.
That's the thing. So in order to Yeah, in order to kill Boba with Wrecker, he would need to use just the 5 damage. He wouldn't get the ambush. But with the armor on, that 5 damage is no longer lethal.
Yeah.
Jabba ruled with fear. I intend to rule with respect.
Boba kills K2. Loopee's got to decide 3 damage to base or discard a card from hand.
I can't see how many cards Jason has. If he's got 1 or 2, I might go for the discard here.
Yeah, it's possible. Loopee's not in a great situation here. This Boba Fett's armor is a definite obstacle for Loopee here, I think.
Yep.
Now, Loopee does play Confiscate, but only in the sideboard. He won't have access to it in this game. He does have 3 Timely Interventions main deck though. That might be his out to this situation. It does look like he opted to deal the 3 damage to base.
Well, but he's going to be on 6 resources next round, which is not going to be enough for Timely Wrecker. It would be enough for Timely Poe, but I don't think he has a Poe.
Yeah, he could do Timely Poe. And Boba has taken 5 damage, so he has 4 left, so Wrecker is off by 1 with the damage reduction. Loopee has played this a lot less aggressively than I thought he would. It's an interesting situation. Can he find an answer to this Boba?
All right, starts off with the Sabine, which to me implies he doesn't have...
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he has anything that can just kill Boba, or he would have used it.
And Wrecker taken out.
Sabine who takes Wrecker, I think.
Yeah.
There was a Darksaber in hand, but what is he doing?
I think he was. I think he was showing the other 2 cards, and he accidentally showed the.
And then he showed the 3rd one by mistake. Well, he might play it here. It would be pretty reasonable to do. Wing Leader buff Bright Hope here, I think.
That's actually a pretty good play.
And then the last card was what? Sindari Peacekeeper, I think.
Yep, Peacekeeper and the Darksaber.
Yeah, so he'll probably plan to play the Peacekeeper next up. Losing that Wrecker is tough, but with the Boba's armor there, he wasn't going to be in a position to actually get value from it anyway, or at least not the value that you would most want. If he has the heroic intervention in the resource zone, he would be able to take out Boba that way, but that wouldn't be live for another 2 turns. Yennefer says, Barrage seals the game here. Why didn't he Wrecker first? Wrecker doesn't kill Boba here because of the armor. That's why he didn't do it.
Yeah.
And so it becomes just like not even really that good. It looks like Jason probably doesn't have a Barrage. He swings Boba in, defeating Sabine, readying his resources. I guess if he had a Barrage, he couldn't play it then. He can play it now. But before that can potentially happen, Bright Hope can swing in and land 4 damage at least. So that's probably something that Loopee wants to do immediately, and he does.
Yep. So now Jason's up to 19, which, I mean, that's right on the edge of being close enough that Loopee could win through a Barrage here.
Yeah, I think it's possible. So like I'm not saying it's certain or even that it's likely, but I think it's possible. A barrage here does what, 8 damage? I think that is enough to clear the I don't know. It does clear the board.
It clears the board.
And if Loopee plays the Peacekeeper, Boba can just attack into it. But it looks like there's no barrage, or I don't know what that was.
Spend a resource and then reached for his dial. I think we might see.
Is it Salacious Crumb number 3? Is that what we're doing?
Oh.
Is it actually going to be Salacious Crumb number 3?
I don't know. No, it's McClunky.
It's a McClunky. McClunky used to bounce Bazine. That's a pretty reasonable move. Bounces Bazine, so he's going to be able to replay Bazine, and he kills the wing leader, reducing the incoming damage. I don't know why he reached for his dial there, but whatever. Initiative taken, so his resources are not all being used here, but that does mean that Boba can now just attack and defeat the Sundari Peacekeeper before it gets a chance to swing.
Yeah.
Now, what is this? I guess he's just slow to untap here, thinking about his resource decision. Hyperspace Cube cheering for Loopee here. Loopee is the one who made this broadcast possible, so I feel almost obligated to cheer for him here. Plus, I'm a big Sabine fan. Plus, Loopee's a cool guy, and I don't really know Jason. Jason might be a cool guy too, but I am not the world's most unbiased commentator here. I would love to see Loopee take this down. Let's see how it goes. Fontanes Julio, or don't know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry, says, this commentary would be lit if Rebel Trader, each time he reads his text and smiles, shares with the audience that conversation. Mr. Dragon Fox asks, which game is this? This is game 1. This is game 1 of the finals. Jake DeSnake says that it feels like the Boba player is slow playing. We've seen Jason play some other games. He has not been the fastest player in the world. I think somebody said, was it Rebel? Was it him or where somebody said that he only had 3 hours of sleep or something?
Yeah, that was Jason.
Yeah, I don't know what his situation is. And Swootalk with the Echo and Dom asks, what is the bounty on BH? As Thrawn points out, yeah, it's an enticing reward.
Yep.
Okay, so now Jason plays out a 7th Fleet Defender. He doesn't seem to have an answer to this buffed Brighthope. And Brighthope swings in for another 4 damage on Jason's base. Jason left with only 7 HP remaining. That is not a lot. He is now in range of reaches. Like, if we could see something like, we could see Loopee play we could see Loopee play a For a Cause I Believe In into another For a Cause I Believe In, and that could just end the game. Like that could just be it.
Yeah.
Jason swings into the base.
And that brings Loopee up to only 8.
Yeah, Loopee's base
got a
has
way
been
to
almost
go.
untouched up to this point. I don't even know what he took I think the 2 damage that he took before this was inflicted by his own Sabine leader ability.
I think that's true.
I think this is the first time Jason's even taken a swing at the base Loopee brings out K2SO. K2SO is one of those reach cards I was talking about that's dangerous even if the opponent can clear it. And normally K2 would be kind of risky to play against Boba here, but as we discussed earlier, Jason does not have Waylay in his deck. So K2SO is not going to get bounced here. And if Boba kills him, that's 3 to base. Did Jason just scoop?
I think maybe.
I think Jason scooped.
I guess maybe for time.
I don't think you need to scoop for time against Sabine, man. Like, I know some of these games have been slow, but that's wild. You know, maybe what he was thinking is, hey, I can't stop this. I can kill K2, but then I take 3, and then I take 4 from the Bright Hope. I'm dead either way. I don't have an out. Let's just go to the next game, get that extra time. I'm not sure, but it looks like a win in game 1 for Loopee after some very unusual lines of play.
Yep, I just got it confirmed from the judge that Jason did indeed scoop.
Crazy. I mean, I don't know. You know, maybe that's a prudent choice. You know, the first game, this was a kind of long game for a Sabine game. Maybe he really wants that time. All right. Well, Loopee. Loopee showing the camera his 3 confiscates as he takes them from his sideboard there. I think he might be using this to try and counter Boba's armor. And Jason also showing off some confiscates there. I think they're gunning for each other's big upgrades here. I think Loopee wants to take down Boba's armor and Jason wants to deal with the Darksaber. And the interesting thing about Jason's deck is that because he is using that enticing reward, Confiscate actually has more targets than just Boba's armor. And that means that it could be strong to include all of them. And, you know, sometimes people might only bring in 2, but why not bring in all 3 and you might have other targets for it anyway, you know? Thrawn says, to be honest, I thought Loopee took some weird lines there and he still won for whatever that's worth. Go Loopee. You know, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I think the first turn of that game, just the first turn was already so spicy with Loopee firing ECL to kill that Salacious Crumb, only for Jason to play a second Salacious Crumb. That was crazy.
Only for it to get killed again by the Battlefield Marine.
Yeah, then you have it get killed again by the same Marine. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I honestly wonder if Jason had a bad hand or if he kept 2 Salacious Crumb on purpose in case something like that happened or what. It's wild.
People are saying shout out to Grace and Mike from Pastimes Games for making this happen. Yeah, the tournament has been run amazingly. I haven't been out to the store from where I am, but I hear great things. So anyone who's taking the time to run a business like this deserves a shout out here.
I'm told this event has like very substantial additional prizes from the store also, which is pretty cool. Like, I forget what someone posted the prize breakdown in a discussion on like a different server, and it was like, man, very interesting.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, first place is a Leia Showcase, 3 copies of Hyperspace Foil Luke, a Spark booster box, and a Shadows booster box. Second place is a Palpatine Showcase, a Spark booster box, and a Shadows booster box. And then going down up until like basically everyone, top 64 is like, everyone up to top 16 gets like some kind of, you know, foil or showcase, something. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hyperspace Cube says, got a Bosk showcase for top 8 today. Congrats on top 8. And Thrawn says mandatory Bosk deck play at the next PQ. You know, Bosk Blue is a real deck. I actually think Bosk Yellow is underrated. Bosk Yellow is a kind of scary aggro deck sometimes. I don't know. Bosk has some interesting stuff going for him.
Yeah. I think Bosk Blue is pretty well positioned into Boba. Sabine it can struggle with, but it's not unwinnable.
I will say when I play double red Sabine, I think Bosk Blue is very favored for me. But double red has like extra gas against control.
Oh, it's definitely favorable.
I've had stuff where it's like, you know, play aggression and defeat 2 bounties and kill a unit or something. And it's just like, oh man, that's wild. D-House for Unplayable says Pastimes and specifically the organizer Ron is the greatest SWU store on the planet. They love this game and gave so much extra for this event. They deserve some major props. Yeah, big shout out to Pastimes Comics and Games for running this event, providing additional prizes, and you know, letting us do this stream. I don't know what exactly the players are doing here. I guess they're just shuffling more or something after the original sideboarding, or maybe there were some mulligans or something. But we're still waiting for game 2 to get underway.
Yep. We're time wise, we're 15 plus. We're half an hour in.
Okay, my opinion, which is admittedly kind of ridiculous, is that if you're 30 minutes in and you're playing Sabine, you should already be done. That's my opinion. That's kind of a joke.
I mean, it's the finals. I think they've
it's
day.
The finals, and also, you know, Loopee is not exactly the one like in control of that. I think Jason has been taking longer on those plays, but you know,
yeah.
All right. Loopee versus Jason, round 2. Here we go. Are we going to see that spicy turn 1 ECL again? And this is one of the things, when you're playing ECL and your opponent is not playing ECL, I think that it feels a lot... it feels a lot more open, the ability to fire it off early on in the game. Like, you don't feel like, oh, now I won't be able to counter my opponent or whatever. Sometimes it's just like, oh, I got to go for it. You know, I got to do this. I got to do that. In Sabine mirrors, early ECL can be really big. All right. We're going into game 2 of the finals of this Planetary Qualifier. If Loopee wins this game, the event is his. Let's see if he can do it. Or will Jason be able to get the win and send us to game 3 of this final match? Mr. Dragon Fox in the chat jokes, Jason starting with a 23-point handicap, I see. Bold strategy into Sabine. Yeah, they do need to reset those life counters.
Yeah. Looks like Jason open passed. And then...
Okay, he passed, Loopee plays a Marine, and then Jason throws a enticing reward onto the Marine. So maybe Jason missed having any unit, but still wanted to play that bounty. Maybe that's what happened there.
Yeah.
No, wait, does he have Salacious Crumb in hand?
Maybe he was just trying to play around the ECL move that Loopee pulled.
Yeah, he has Salacious Crumb in hand. Rebel Resource says, I gave Loopee some pointers on how Jason played the deck before I dipped out. Pastime Games was amazing. Ron was such an amazing TO today. Yeah, maybe Rebel Resource has given Loopee the secret sauce, and that's why we were seeing some of these things. Yeah, Jason brings out Salacious Crumb. That's so interesting. I think that's risky. Rebel Resource says, I got 8th, lost to Jason on a misplay. Sorry to hear that, Rebel Resource. Swoo Talk with Yago and Dom says 32-minute game 1. Loopee won with 17 HP remaining on base. Just needs to deal 14 damage this game to get win. I don't know. I really hope that we don't see the finals decided by time. That would be astonishingly unhype. Loopee fires off ECL to take down Salacious Crumb yet again, this time bringing in Cassian Andor.
And Jason gets a resupply.
Loopee swings on in with the Battlefield Marine. There's another 3 damage to Jason's base.
Jason didn't have ramp game 1, did he?
That's an interesting question. To be honest, I don't remember. Game 1 was so long ago. No, let me think about that. Okay, so game 1 he had the double. No, he played a on the 3 resource turn. He played a 7th Fleet Defender, I think, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Loopee has a major board advantage in that he has units on board and Jason doesn't, and they're like pretty respectable units too. But Jason did successfully ramp and is going to be able to bring out Boba. A overwhelming barrage here could be really big. It could actually kill both of these units because there's a, or no, I'm sorry, it couldn't because Cassian's a 3/5. So Cassian has 4 HP remaining, and Battlefield Marine has just 3.
Yeah. And
however, he could
Bosk.
still. Oh, Bosk. Bosk coming in to kill Cassian? No, it's not Cassian that's the target. It's actually going to be the Battlefield Marine. That's interesting. That's less efficient on damage, but he gets to get the enticing reward. Now the problem is that he doesn't have enough resources to actually. Even if he finds like a Boba's armor off this, he doesn't have the resources to actually play it until after Boba deploys and swings. But getting Bosk on the field isn't exactly bad. If he has a commission to play, he can fire off another 2 damage. Dante points out that Rebel Assault now kills Boba immediately on flip if he gets Sabine. Now 2 overwhelming barrages.
Look at that.
That absolutely cannot be what Loopee wants to see. That is wild.
All right,
now he does
Loopee,
have to
let's go to
discard
game
a card,
3.
and he discards Salacious Crumb. He had another Salacious Crumb.
He's keeping both of those barrages. Right.
Jason is a big Salacious Crumb fan, man. I don't know that I keep these Salacious Crumbs. Loopee throws.
And the Confy for the Darksaber.
No! Oh, that is brutally bad for Loopee. He plays the Darksaber on Cassian only to have it taken out by Confiscate. Loopee is far behind now. This is a very bad turn for Loopee. Man, it's interesting. So Darksaber on Cassian there was actually kind of cool in that it would have allowed Cassian to gatekeep Boba. And additionally, if Sabine came out and attacked, Cassian could attack and actually give Sabine an experience counter, but the Confiscate in from the sideboard countered it. Jabba King Tut says, please no Boba Green W. Look, I'm not going to lie, man. I think it's looking like a Boba Green W. Now, what is happening here? What is Loopee doing?
Sabine's going to kill the Bosk to prevent the Bosk from taking apart the board, I
Sabine
guess.
kills Bosk. 1 damage to base also. He didn't ever attack with Cassian, and now Boba can clear Cassian unless this is a bait. Is this a bait? Boba goes for base.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's interesting. Does Loopee just take initiative here? It seems like that's maybe what he did. He hasn't attacked with Cassian at all. It's really, man, I'm going to be so curious to hear what Loopee's strategy was this game. No, wait, it looks like he is going to attack with Cassian.
Into base?
Presumably. I guess you could swing for 3 damage on Boba?
Yeah, okay.
No, it's going to be base.
Yeah.
So the problem here is that Jason found 2 overwhelming barrages. And that's one of the best cards he could possibly have here. So Loopee, the combination of those barrages and the confiscate on that Darksaber, that has put Loopee in a rough spot. If not for the confiscate, Loopee potentially could have pinned Boba with the Darksaber Cassian, used Sabine to kill Bosk, and even with those overwhelming barrages, there wouldn't have been anything that Jason could have played them on. But confiscate really changed that scenario, and now we're seeing that overwhelming barrage clears the board, and Boba will be able to swing for 6.
All right, Poe.
Oh,
With no ECL.
no
And-
ECL, but Poe is still a 6/6, can still swing in and kill Boba.
Well, Boba can just swing in and kill him because he's buffed from the
Yeah,
barrage.
that's true. Boba can just do that. But if Loopee has a Wrecker, then Wrecker can kill Boba with the when played ability.
Yeah.
What is happening here? Okay, yeah. So Boba, Boba swings in, kills Poe thanks to the buffed stats from Overwhelming Barrage, and Loopee takes initiative. Oh, and there is
yep.
a
Get that outta
Sabine
here.
taking that Wrecker out of hand. Ouch! Not what you want to see as Loopee. That is a bad beat for him. That is brutal. Loopee has had some harsh breaks this game. I tell you what, man.
Yep.
Boba on only 1 HP, but there's another overwhelming barrage in hand. Unless Jason is resourced it, which seems very unlikely to me. Now, if he has a timely intervention where he does main deck 3, he can ambush in. There it is, timely intervention smuggled. What's going to come in here? There are a lot of units that can potentially take out Boba in this scenario. One of my favorites would actually be Sabine Wren, but it's going to be Sundari Peacekeeper. So the advantage of Sabine would be that she could kill Boba with the on-attack ability and then not take any damage and remain on the board. Sundari Peacekeeper hits for 4, but the problem is Bazine can now kill the Peacekeeper. Thrawn says, Wrecker been hit with back-to-back 360 no-scopes.
Peacekeeper perfectly lined up to be killed by this Bazine.
Yeah, not optimal, but, did get the heal. Uh-oh, Fett's Fire Spray on the field. Not a unit that Loopee wants to see. Man, Jason has had pretty excellent draws this game.
Yeah. And Loopee saying, please don't kill my Peacekeeper. But Jason does not listen to him and does it anyway.
Man. All right, Loopee is in major trouble here. How can he get himself out of this scenario? A Bright Hope might be nice, but it wouldn't even work because he plays Bright Hope and it just gets hit by that second overwhelming barrage. Tough situation for Loopee. Rebel, you hold down the fort for a bit. I have to go attend to something. I will be right back. My
right,
apologies
sounds
for
good.
leaving during the exciting finals.
You're good. All right. So we're going into a new round here. Jason's got a fire spray on the board, and Loopee's play is just for a cause. That's not exactly what you want to see here. He's going to take 4. Certainly discard at least, the Pathfinders and the A-Wing. Maybe he keeps the K2. Oh, it looks like he discards the K2 as well. All right, Bayzine going to the base. Bringing Loopee up to 10. Ooh, red 3. Probably just fire spray food. The way Jason's been playing this match has been very control-y. I'm kind of expecting him to kill the red 3. But there is also a good argument for... Oh, he's just going to barrage. So now that fire spray is 7. I mean, Jason now can put Loopee within surprise strike range. Although, does Jason run surprise strike? I think he does, but I'm not actually positive. Let me check. Jason does not actually run surprise strike, so never mind what I said about that.
All right, looks like Loopee had played some stuff and got barraged. Is that what I'm seeing here?
Yep, he played a 4 cost, ended up milling everything, hit all 4, and then he played a red 3, and the red 3 got barraged. And then Loopee decided to go to base, and looks like Sabine panged.
Looks like this one to me is done.
Jason's got
it's not
lethal on
literally
board.
done, but yeah, Jason has lethal on board. Loopee has nothing on board. And I don't think he really has a great answer. I mean, I don't know. So maybe now that he's drawn out the barrage, he gets to play... Maybe it's like, okay, he's drawn out the barrage. Now he can play a Bright Hope and cover his... No, he plays Cassian from the row, comes in readied. But he's just like not even close to lethal. His opponent can just go to base, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Interestingly, Jason swings to base with Boba. Maybe it's Bright Hope time? No, it's not. It's Cassian swing for 3 time.
And Boba is going to send us into a game 3 here.
Yeah. But he scored more damage for potential tiebreak or something. I don't think that matters here.
No, it doesn't.
Hopefully they can finish it. Hopefully they can finish a game that has Sabine in it in 30 minutes.
Yeah. I got that one in 15, so.
Man, yeah, it all lined up for Jason in that game. The double overwhelming barrage, I think, put Loopee into a defensive mode, and then the confiscate just knocked him out of it, in my opinion. That was harsh. But we're going into game 3. Loopee will get to go first this time. Traditionally, what you want to do with a Sabine deck, and we'll see whether or not he can come back swinging and win this planetary qualifier, or whether Jason, with his Boba Green and his 3 hours of sleep, can get the win instead.
It all comes down to this. Who is going to be the champion of the Chicago Season 0 Spark of Rebellion Planetary Qualifier? Sorry, I mean Shadows of the Galaxy.
Was going to say. But yeah, and shout out once again to Pastimes Games, Pastimes Comics and Games for hosting this event and for putting on some great additional prizes for the players as well. All right. They're shuffling on up. Jason, I think, is advertising his Turtles game again.
All right. The finals brought to you by... Can't quite read the full title of that, but Something Turtles.
All right. The final match of the finals. Loopee versus Jason. Dante says he can't look at his phone, dude. I don't know if that's even an official rule, but I think it's an unenforced rule if it is a rule.
What? What rule?
Thrawn says, "Can we please see no crumb T1?" I don't know. What if we see 2 crumbs T1, man? That was crazy in the in game 1. I've never seen that before.
I'm looking at his hand. I'm not seeing one.
He might mull though. He might maybe his tactic is hard mull for Salacious Crumb.
Yeah. Gold Sally C.
I don't Dante, I don't know if his like Ninja Turtle app Kickstarter counts as outside notes. I don't know. I don't know that that's I don't know that they're gonna play it that strict. And people use phones as life counters and stuff all the time.
If I write down notes beforehand and memorize them and then go back to my memory, is that looking at notes in the middle of the game?
I'm pretty sure that's allowed. In Flesh and Blood, it was weird because you were not allowed. It was like the exact opposite of this game. You could not write notes during a game, but you were allowed to have pre-written notes. So people would write like sideboard guides with like their exact swaps for different heroes and just like have it on a piece of paper and refer to it when sideboarding. But like you couldn't write down information that you got in game.
When I played Yu-Gi-Oh, they had very strict no note taking, and I think they still do. And that applies not just to note taking, but to notate like using anything to indicate anything. So like there were cards that you could only use their ability once per turn, and you weren't allowed to like write down that it had used its ability that turn or like put a token on it or anything. There were cards that like gained attack for certain abilities, and you couldn't like write down what the card's attack was currently. It was crazy.
Poo Poo Fun says he's getting advice from Donatello. That's illegal.
If I pray in the middle of the match and God hands me down the correct play, is that consulting outside note taking?
You know, it's Halem says you can take notes to maintain game state in Yu-Gi-Oh now, apparently.
Oh, that's good.
I think in Netrunner at one time you were allowed to take notes, but the only thing you were allowed to take notes on was the amount of money each player had, and you couldn't write down anything other than the actual amount. Like you couldn't write like 5 + 4 9. You had to just write 5 and then 9, if I recall correctly. Netrunner had very strange tournament rules. In Netrunner, if you can, at one point, purportedly, if you conceded, you were DQ'd. And if your opponent accepted a concession, they were also DQ'd.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was also in a game where you had to play 2 games in every match. One is runner and one is corp. And there was often not really enough time. So there was actually like quite a good reason to want to concede to try to get more time for the second game, but you were not allowed to do it.
Yeah, it looks like both players passed on turn 1. Sabine used the ping, but no plays.
Yeah, that's interesting. You know, maybe you know, both players having weaker draws this time, I guess. I don't know. Thrawn asks, was that pass ping pass claim? I think it might have been Thrawn.
Yeah.
And Loopee brings out Cassian and is met by a super laser tech, not what you most want to see as Loopee. Okay, what comes next here?
Well, you've been freed. You'll remember that you belong to me.
What?
Oh, no, then it was just singing the Hamilton song called What Comes Next.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I have not seen Hamilton, to tell you the truth. All right, so let's see what happens. Dante says at the Rochester PQ, a Kylo blue with security complex gave the opponent super laser technician a shield twice. Yeah, that's a spicy play, but it it can happen. Aaron asks, will finals lists be posted?
hopefully. If they don't post them themselves, I'll try to convince them to let me.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. We're going into the turn. What is going on here? Loopee swings on in with Cassian. 3 damage to Jason's base. 26 to go, though. That is a bit of a hurdle here.
Yeah. I don't know. It took them so long to get going on that turn. But all right, Super Laser comes in. And
Yep.
Jason's at 5 resources now. You can flip. Now everyone's roasting you for not having seen Hamilton. You have to go see it. It's on Disney Plus.
Hyperspace Cube says, Tower number 9, go watch Hamilton, and by the time you are done, this match is still going. I think hopefully they'll be able to bring it to a conclusion soon. You know, it's a Sabine game. These tend to be fast. Looks like is that a Cloud Rider here?
Yep.
Cloud Rider defeats the wounded Cassian Andor. Sabine Wren now hitting the field. Sabine, the only unit on the field. What is happening here?
Greedo coming down. All right.
Greedo, okay.
Okay, K2. Not Darksaber.
Is K2 ambushing Greedo?
Maybe. Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah. K2 ambushes Greedo, kills Greedo, 3 damage to the base.
And
We'll
Greedo's
see if
gonna-
Greedo hits his top deck. Greedo top deck. Jason
Time
tapping
for
the top of his
good luck.
deck, hoping for a card that can kill.
Oh!
Oh, and he gets it. The lucky top deck from Jason. Taking out K2, but he does suffer 3 damage to his base in doing so.
Greedo's not throwing away his shot.
Three more damage to the base here from the old Sabine Wren. Jason brings out Boba. Loopee doesn't have a lot to do here other than to take the initiative. No medal ceremony for him, and there's Boba's armor, and there's Boba defeating Sabine. And with that, I think Loopee is definitely behind here.
Yeah. I mean, 14 damage is a decent amount. He Oh, he has used ECL. I was going to say if he hadn't used ECL, but no, he
If
did.
he hadn't used ECL, I'd feel very differently about this situation. But having used it, I don't know. I think it's not looking good for. I think it's not looking good for Loopee, but it's not over yet either. We could see a big comeback. Kind of hope one happens. We'll have to see. Dante calling GG's already. Swooch Hawk with Yakko and Dom also says game's over. You know, it's not over yet. We can see we've seen some unusual things. We've seen some unusual things during this event at times, and we could totally see some changes as well. Dragon Fox says that armor is such a dumb card. Okay, look, I've said this before. So Boba Fett's armor is clearly a like ridiculously tone deaf card to release in the second set, given what happened in the first set. But Boba Fett's armor was designed and like at the printers before they knew anything about the first set and like what its meta was going to be. Like, and like, yes, with the benefit of hindsight, it obviously should not have been printed in this form. But like, I think you do have to give them some slack because they were working substantially in advance on that.
Well, I mean, as the saying goes about dealing with Sabine, stabilizing is easy, winning is harder. Loopee's only got 2 damage on his base, and
Yeah.
Jason's gotta go all the way from there to 25.
Michael says Greedo hitting is pretty rough. Yeah, that Greedo top deck was very fortunate for Jason. I think his odds of hitting it are not particularly good. I mean, it's not like, you know, it's not minuscule, but it's not, I don't know, it's not a super high percentage shot. You know, I think that he has 17 events and upgrades, so it's higher than normal, but even if he's sideboarded all the way up to 20, that still gives him a 40% chance. Loopee firing off for a cause I believe in and hitting for 3. But he's being pressured by Fett's fire spray here. I don't know. I do think Jason's gonna take the win here.
I mean, it's certainly looking like it's going that way. Hey, wait. So is this for a cause and he revealed those 4? Okay, so he's putting Timely Wrecker on top?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's looked like what it was.
Takes 5 more damage, up to 8 damage, takes the initiative. His opponent at 18. Does Timely Wrecker actually kill Boba? No, it doesn't, right?
I mean, it would be 3 and then 5.
No, it'd be 3 plus 4. It doesn't
wouldn't,
work. Yeah, 3 plus 5. Yeah, it's off by 1.
Oh, Greedo though. It does something to Greedo.
Greedo is real. Greedo's looking like a real nice target here.
Yeah, no. I think Greedo was saying, you know, I really want to be played, and Jason didn't know how to say no to that.
Yeah. I wonder if that will prove to be Jason's weak point here. The Greedo top deck put him in a much better spot than he would have been if he missed that. But will Greedo being on the field now mean that he is too vulnerable to Wrecker? We'll have to see. Bunch of resources. Wrecker. No ambush, though, on that Wrecker, I believe.
Did he not? Timely?
I think he only has 6 resources. I don't think he can afford it.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
What is this?
I mean, usually Timely and Wrecker are...
He plays Wrecker and doesn't use his ability. And then Jason swings to the base with Greedo.
All right, so 6 and 5.
I think Loopy's
Jason?
done.
I
Jason
mean,
can
yeah.
just swing this. If Jason doesn't play any card, he can swing this turn for 11, and then he has lethal 2 different ways, and Wrecker can't stop even one of them, much less both
Yep.
of them. I think it's over.
But I guess we should wait for it. Wait for it. Wait
Yeah.
for it.
It ain't over till it's over, as they say. But I think it's going to be a win for Jason here.
All right, Jason. History has its eyes on you.
Overwhelming barrage, Wrecker's off the board, and I think this man. Did he kill his own Greedo with overwhelming barrage? What is that? What?
Maybe.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
I'm catching some of the Hamilton references there, D-House. What? Okay, someone says yellow Boba should have won and Sabine should have won. Why would that be the case? All right. Loopee at 1 HP. I don't know. So as Loopee now, do you activate the Sabine Wren self-destruct sequence here? Yeah, there.
Yep. All right.
The self-destruct sequence blowing up his own base, and Jason is our winner of the Pastimes Comics and Games PQ.